Hey everybody, it's Miriam Simon, your leadership coach, and I am here with my 21st episode, and I'm super excited. Welcome to Latina Mic Drop. You are here today. I am here today. We are celebrating the fact that tattoos and pearls, combining street wisdom with corporate strategy, is going to hit the shelves on April 11th, 2025. I am really excited to be able to share my most vulnerable work with you all. It is something I've been working on for the past year. It is a book that I have really poured my heart and soul into it because I want people who have been dismissed, people who have been undervalued, people who are used to maybe being in the background, people who felt invisible to protect themselves and made themselves small because it's scary to be out there. I really wanted to be able to share a lot of different experiences, right, that may mark us for life, that are difficult to go through and have really an impact and leave a mark on us and our lives. And we carry it through many different stages of our lives. And I wanted to be able to share some of those stories so that you don't feel alone and you realize, hey, you know what? These are the things that are happening. It doesn't just happen to me, but how did you get through it? How do you work through that? What were the lessons learned? And that's how you end up with the pearls of wisdom that come out of it. I've been working with my publisher. Shout out to RMP Studios, Rosales Publishing Studios, from Adriana Rosales. She is the Latinas 100 founder of Leaving a Legacy and Inspiring the Next Generation book. She has been instrumental in being able to bring this book to fruition, Tattoos and Pearls. She's been innovative. We've done so many different things together. And one of the main things we did is she came out to the Bronx in New York and we did the book cover reveal, which was truly, truly an experience in itself. She came prepared. She listened to everything, like what I wanted, what I was thinking about, the image, right, for the book cover, how I wanted to get it started, how I wanted to look, what I was thinking about, the font that I wanted. She brought everything that I was envisioning in my head into life and brought in some extras even. She brought in some great ideas. One looked like a mural even. It's beautiful. You can check it out on my YouTube channel, the book cover reveal at author Miriam Simon. I have a video there where you could see the book cover reveal experience. And she came with at least, I would say it was over 20 images for the front cover. And she had many different ways in which we could put the font or where we could put my name. And should it go at the top? Should it go at the bottom? What color should it be? What's the font for Tattoos and Pearls? What's the face of it, right? Should my face be on it? And what's interesting is that I was thinking about, should I be on the cover of the book? And I said, why not? Why not put myself out there if I'm really going to go from invisibility to visibility and put myself out there? Why wouldn't I put my picture on it? And it was just so funny because that picture that I actually have on the cover is one of the pictures that I took in my car because you get really good lighting in there. It's just so interesting how you can make it look so good and have it as part of something you can use all the time. Today I'm coming to you, no makeup. I didn't do my hair today. My wife is upstairs sleeping. She worked an overnight last night. Yesterday, I had two events. One, I was a panelist talking about intersectionality and leadership. And then I did my first LinkedIn Live with Hari Mendez. So her and I are co-leads with Lean in Latinas Nueva York. So if you're interested in community and you're interested in getting to know us a little better, we're both authors. We're both really on a mission to help undervalued, underrepresented. We want to help you. We want to share. We want to bring community. We are the group that really has no issue with you coming and telling us about your coaching business, your business, what you have going on next. Some people come and they share what's going on for them. We'll make space for you. If you're launching a program, we bring you in and you can actually, do it as a pilot with the group of women that are with us. And we're really building a community and a network. I've heard Hadi say that, like she really wanted to have a network of women of everything, because we're all doing it, right? Latinas are the ones that are out here creating the entrepreneurs, are building their businesses quicker and faster than any other group. And so that's important. Like, that's important for us to be able to have a place and location where we can feel we belong, and where we feel that we're able to do everything that we need to do, and we're able to share our gifts with everybody. And what I wanted to come to you this time was because I can't believe that my book is coming to fruition. It has been a long time since I've had the name in my head. It's so interesting because I have my tattoo on my wrist, and I was onboarding at a new company, and it was really the start of a brand new career for me, and I didn't realize what a big deal it was at the moment. And now thinking back, it kind of gets me emotional just thinking about where I started and where I am currently, because I work for a great organization with great people, and we take a lot of pride in everything that we do. It's just amazing how much I've been able to create and be able to help others, which has always been my goal, and give them the blueprint. That's why I started my coaching business too, Misi Coaching and Consulting, because Misi Coaching is really not just only the first two letters of my name, right? Miriam Simon. It's also in Spanish, it means my yes, because I want people to start saying yes to themselves. I want people to start listening to themselves. I want people to stop listening to the outside noise, especially right now. There's so much outside noise. A lot of this stuff is just overly stimulating and overwhelming if we really go ahead and sit there and pay attention to all the nonsense. But what I really want you to do is, I really want people to understand that listening to yourself and understanding what it is that you want is what's going to bring you the joy and fulfillment in your life. And I've been able to do that since I was very young as a kid, just experiencing all these insane telenovela moments that I've lived through. And it's really crazy to me just to see how far I've come in these 44 years. I'll be 45 in June, and I'm really excited and happy to turn 45 because I'm really coming into my own, and I've been very happy, very fortunate. I've been through a lot, but now I'm in the other side of the pearls of wisdom piece, and I am ready to share, and I'm ready to give all my gifts and share as much as I can. When I was a kid, my mom and people, "Ay, Mimi, you're tan chismosa. You're such a like gossiper or whatever." And I was like, no, I'm sharing information. I want to know what's going on. Everybody should be able to talk about these things. And people were always like, "Mimi, you talk too much," or I couldn't be at the big grown up table because I was the oldest granddaughter, oldest niece. And so I was never, I always snuck in. I always got in somehow, some way. I always heard the tea of what was going on in the kitchen, because the kitchen was the best place to be. And we always had a great time and just enjoying all the moments that I had. I had a lot of hard times, but I also did have a lot of great times with my family, and I learned a lot of great lessons from all those hard times and all those great things that came, and even just, falling in love with the wrong person and finding out that you're doing the same shit that your family was doing. And then I had to figure out how to break the cycle. And now I'm at the point where I see myself as a gate breaker instead. It's one step above a cycle breaker, right? The cycle breaker is when you realize you're doing the same thing that your family was doing, and you say, wait, hold up, this shit stops here. I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to do the same shit. Or guess what? I am doing the same shit. I need now to go ahead and stop and take assessment and do an audit of what the hell you're doing, and say, wait, I can't believe I'm here. But you want to know why you get there? You get there because you're so freaking used to it. That's your comfort zone. Unfortunately, for some of us, our comfort zone is the fucked up shit, is the bad relationship, is what you've seen, is what you know. I grew up in chaos with the alcoholic father. He was in and out of jail. He had mistress here, mistress there, kids here, kids there. He used to gift that kept on giving. And it was just hard. It was a horrible way to live. And look, I don't blame him for anything. I know he had his ways, and I know that if he knew better, he would do better. But unfortunately, he did not, and he couldn't, and brought me here to the United States with my mom. And coming into this country, for me, it was hard as a little kid growing up. So I can imagine for him, and my mother especially too, who's been through it as well. They've definitely paid the price. It was so hard for me. I had so many different negative experiences, just being the first one to be able to speak English and being able to go to school. Thankfully, my uncle and aunt were all around also, Guadi and Male. They were always around. They always helped us see the light and have good things. And I talk about that. Then I talk about the telenovela moments, those mujeres un camino type of shit. And I went through some of that stuff. And that was just really hard. And, being othered, especially at 17, I went through a out of body experience. And I talk about my friend who passed away, who actually pushed me out of the way during a shootout. And I ended up surviving and he didn't. And I didn't even know he was gone until the next day. And that shit changes your life forever. And you realize how important life is. And you realize how critical it is to be alive and not waste a minute of your time here on earth. And, I know that experience in itself was not in vain. And therefore, that's why I give back and I do so much, because my life has to be worth more than just mine because of that situation. And it's critical. It's critical. Some people take it for granted. I don't. I can't, because people have really paid the price of life, and it's tough. It's tough for us and tough for all of us. We've been through it, and it's been hard to be able to bring everything that we've been through and get through it and come out on the other side. And these are tough things to talk about, but I want to be able to share with you all, because it's important for us to talk about those hardships and be able to say, you know what, this is hard. This is what I've been through. How do I get through it? How do I get over it? How do I move forward? How do I find the energy and purpose in your life to be able to move forward? And then I also bring in the experience of being a mother and having 3 kids, and then the experience of going and realizing that I had been living my life all wrong, because I recognized that it was like a betrayal of everything that I have learned. A lot of stuff that I had learned, there were really good lessons too, but there was a lot of stuff that I was comfortable with that I shouldn't have been, because of all the nonsense that I had been through. So it's just very hard to be able to look back and not feel bad about it. But at the same time, there were a lot of lessons that I learned, actually, like the kind of family that I wanted to have. I always knew I wanted to be a mother. And then I always knew that I wanted to have a supportive partner. And thankfully, I went to a Tony Robbins seminar at the young age of 23. I don't even know how the hell I stumbled upon it. I was doing Prime America at that time, and the financial services for a hot second. I was just starting my airport job, and I was doing a few different things. I've always dipped and dabbled into many different things, because I've always been looking for a way to make my life better and do better things. And at that time, the opportunity presented itself to go to Tony Robbins. So I took it. I said, you know what, let me go. And I came back a totally different person. That experience really helped me see that I was really comfortable with the BS, and I really wanted to live my life differently. And I recognized that I hadn't been meeting the basic needs of human needs. And you'll read about that in the book. That's actually how it starts. The introduction is out now. If you want to go ahead and take a look at the Tattoos and Pearls introduction, I have it on my YouTube channel, and you can hear, get sneak peek at it. And then just going through life, realizing that I wanted a supportive partner, and then being able to recognize the difference and finding her, and understanding that even though I knew it was going to be tough and that people were going to judge me and that it wasn't going to be accepted, and it's not accepted by some of my family members, that's actually what was making me happy. And I just recall my mom saying to me one time, like, if I wasn't happy, you're not going to be happy. And now that I am happy and I have been happy for such a long time, I used to take offense to that phrase, but now I don't take offense to that phrase because I realized what she was saying. She wasn't saying that because she wasn't happy, I wasn't going to be happy. She was just saying, if my experience was this way, she just couldn't see it for herself. And so therefore she thought that I couldn't reach that either because she hadn't experienced it, because she hadn't seen it. You don't see it for others. And that's a huge, 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 huge lesson for all of us. That's why it's important for us that get to this point, that get to somewhere, that get to do something better, that get to talk, that get the courage, that have, like, we get to do these things. Yeah, they're hard. Yeah, I get to cry and talk about it on my podcast. I get to go on live and be vulnerable and say, hard things. I get to go to work and advocate for other people. Like, my mom never had that experience. My grandma, even, their experience was very different, especially now during Women's History Month. Like, it's so important to be able to do what they couldn't because they really couldn't. They really couldn't. And I used to think, damn, like, that's messed up. How could she say that to her daughter? How could she say that I'm not going to be happy? And I used to take offense to that. I used to be so angry at that and used to think, what in the world is that? Who the hell says that to your kid? And for a long time, I kind of believed it too. Like, wow, I'm not going to be happy. Like, damn, that's messed up. What in the world is that? And that was a big part of, I think, why I wasn't happy for a long time. I just didn't believe I could be because of that. And because she said that. So I thought something was wrong with me. And then especially her not accepting the fact that part of the LGBTQ community doesn't accept my wife. Like, she could be around it for like 2 seconds, but then it just goes really weird. I don't have a really close relationship with her because in order for us to be together, it makes it really difficult. I can't pick and choose, and I have to pick my happiness first, and it has to be this way. It's unfortunate that it's this way, but setting those boundaries are really important. And I learned how to do that at a very young age. And I learned how to hear what was it that I needed back then. And I think that's why our relationship has lasted this long, because we have that support that we didn't grow up with. We both had the mission and the goal of living differently than our parents did, of not putting up with the nonsense, of not being the same as them, not because they're bad people, but only because they only knew what they knew and they could only go that far. And now it's our turn to go ahead and take it to the next level and be able to do more and be able to take it further. And that's why, in looking for what was I going to do next and how I was going to do something else, and it's just so interesting how things come and how things happen, because I was going through a tough time at work, and then also in realizing how everything that you want, you need to fight for and you need to advocate for yourself, right? People don't know what it is that you want. People don't know what it is that you're feeling. People don't experience life the way you do. You don't think the same as other people. Even if you grow up in the same family, I'm very different than my brothers and sisters. And sometimes we come from the same place, but everything that we go through is different. Like, when I went to school, things were different for me than they were for my brother, than they were for my sisters. We're all very different people, and there's so many different ways in which life can happen for us and to us. So being able to walk you all through some of those experiences that I've been through, and being able to show you also, now that I have this new added skill set of being a coach, I want to be able to pass on the gift that was given to me. And the gift that was given to me was from a coach who was one of the most instrumental people, pivotal moment of my life, where I reached the peak of my career. And I had no idea that that's where I was going. I was just, thriving and striving for making a little bit more money so that we could be good and we didn't have to struggle anymore. I've lived where I didn't have money to pay heat, and we were paying for our cars and making sure that we were getting to work, but we didn't have we didn't have other things. And we wanted to be able to travel and be able just to be at peace and not start, stop surviving and start thriving and start living a different life. And I feel like I'm really not in that survival mode anymore. Here and there, sometimes I feel the pressure of things, but I feel the pressure because I want things to come out good. I'm a high achiever, and I realized that that was the only time that I ended up getting recognized for it. It wasn't even a big fucking deal sometimes when I had like perfect attendance or had honor roll every single year, graduated top 5% of my class, got my degree at, I don't know, in my 30s because I waited 15 years after high school to go back. And so for me, other people, they were proud of me and this and that, but it wasn't something that we really celebrated, at least not my parents. My father has been incarcerated for almost all the time he is currently. And my mom, she's in her own world. She has her own things that she needs to deal with. So it's just different. I really never had that. And I want to be able to help you all and give that gift back to you, because one person was able to see me and what are the expectations for this role? How do I do this? Or what do you want from me? And she was just like, look, just be yourself. Just be yourself. That's all I can ask for. Don't try to be anybody else. Don't try to do anything other than who you are. And then that's actually what made me feel 100% comfortable, 100% secure. And listen to me, I'm not perfect. There are skills that I needed to learn. There were things that I needed to get, but I did. And so throughout that time, the same way, that other people, they have potential and they give them the resources and tools, that's what happened. Somebody gave me the opportunity. They saw what I could accomplish. They saw that I had great ideas. They saw that I had innovative ideas. They saw that I can make things that can make change. Even other people are like, damn, this girl, she's a change maker. I just had somebody else told me that on the phone that I didn't even really like work with. It was just somebody who was also in the employee business resource group world with me at the same time that I was a VP and president of the Hispanic Society. And I happened to talk to her for some other reason, and she ended up telling me, yeah, Miriam, you're such a game changer. And you really just don't even realize how much people see you and how much people are recognizing the things that you're doing. And that's why it's important to speak up. And that's why it's important to say something when you're feeling it. I know a lot of us are scared and we want to hold back what we're thinking and hold back things. And listen, I get it. Sometimes the environment isn't the right environment to do it. And I learned that recently. So if it's not the right place and time to say it, I don't say it. I go to another place and time to do it. And when it is the right time and place, that's when I make it work. And there are some times where you do need to be the advocate. You do need to be that gate breaker. You do need to be that person that provides the access and the opportunity. And thankfully, I've been able to have that as well through this coach. And she was able to help me. And I mean, I gained so many skills, additional skills than what I already had. It was stacked on, like it went to the next level because of the way that this person allowed me to be myself. It's about what's your way. I'll be able to do through Tattoos and Pearls is I want to be able to share all the information that I've been able to learn and how I navigated my roles. What are the pathways to get to where you're going? It doesn't always have to be linear. And some of us don't have linear lines up. You don't have to go all the way up, 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 next step, next step, next step. And sometimes it takes time to do that. Sometimes you have to build your experience or be at the right place at the right time, network, get out there, know different people. And so I talk about that. And I talk about how life experiences that I've had. I didn't go to Ivy League. I learned a lot of stuff at the volleyball court, playing around with other adults and being around people that were older than me and being really competitive and being able to be champions, even having your dreams taken away from. I couldn't play volleyball freshman year. They were so excited to have me. And then my mom took me out for her own personal reasons and thinking, I don't know what. But either way, right? I probably could have had like a really good volleyball career because I was freaking good. I love volleyball, man. Volleyball was my thing. I love it. I'm really happy to be able to share all these kinds of things that I learned and all these kinds of things that I brought into my corporate space and how I'm not easily intimidated by anybody because of all these experiences that I've had. We're going to be okay. She was like, all right, I'll keep that in mind. And it's so funny and true because we have been through some testing times. Things had to change and things had to move in different directions. And now, of course, we're doing the same thing. Things are moving in different directions. In the book, Tattoos and Pearls, I really wanted to share from a leadership perspective also, I'm very cautious about where I'm at, where I go, how I do things, right? It's just protective mechanism, but that actually can help you in the corporate world, especially when you get to a certain level, is very hard, and you have to be able to read in between the lines. And if I hadn't been through a lot of these different experiences, I don't think I would have the courage or would have the audacity to be this bold. I think that's why a lot of us that are immigrants or first timers and doing so many different things other than our parents, because we needed to figure it out and needed to figure out ways to do it while being resourceful with the minimal resources that we had, right? I brought that into the workplace as well. I want to be able to share that with you. Sometimes you need to be visible through other avenues and understand that something that works for somebody else may not be what works for you. You got to figure out what works for you, and wherever it is that you can shine based on your own skills and based on your own experiences and based on your own network. And I really want to be able to share all that. And that's why this book is coming out, because I want all of you to understand and see that you do bring something to the table. What you have is an offering to the world and to those around you, to your loved ones. And right now, the impact is bigger than us, because if we don't come together now and we don't talk about it now, we don't deal with our shit now, trust me, it's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder. And a lot of the stuff that's happening now has been happening. It's nothing new. It's just amplified to the 1,000%, because it's showing up everywhere. People are really bold about it, and we could be as bold, and we could figure out a way to work around what's been going on and how things are happening, and we could figure it out. And we all have to just be together and how we get there. And so sometimes creating our own spaces is the answer. And that's why Latina Mic Drop is here, because I wanted to create my own space and I wanted to be able to get to more people, reach wider, not higher, and be able to come to you. And I also wanted to be able to bring the book to those people who were young, ambitious, educated, strong, had difficulties at home, always had these unbelievable things happening around, and then raising kids. And a lot of us women do this kind of stuff where we're always taking care of others before we take care of ourselves. And I want things to change. I want that. Until I didn't even realize what the hell I wanted until I started figuring out most recently. Now I'm realizing, oh, what the hell does Miriam want? I'm so used to catering to everybody else. Now it's like, oh, wait, I can make a decision about what I want to eat. I can make a decision about what the hell it is that I want. And now that I am doing that, I really feel happy and excited. And I'm happy that everything happened the way it did in my life. I don't regret the way that I got here. I love everything that I've been able to accomplish, and I want to be able to be that person, be the Latina that I didn't have, and be the Latina for other people who may not have it either, who may come here struggling, thinking, how can I get there? How can I make something? Right? Or maybe have kids and think, oh, you know what? My dream is gone. No, it's not gone. You can come back to it. I came back to it after 15 years. After 15 years, I came back, and I always wanted a degree. I actually I want a PhD, because I know I can do it. Right. But I haven't gotten that far because I've been doing other things, and it hasn't been the right time to get to that point. And I've been thinking, for higher education, right, I got to make sure that the choice is the right choice, because I have to invest in it. And in order to invest in it, I need to make sure that it's the right path. So I haven't really found a way to figure out how to get to that PhD yet. But eventually that's a goal of mine as well. And soon I'll be able to say that. But for right now, bringing you Tattoos and Pearls, combining street wisdom with corporate strategy, has been a Listen, this story has been in the works forever, obviously, because I'm here, and I'm 44 years old. But the other thing too is that the seed was dropped back in 2013. I can't even believe that seed was dropped back then. And now, 12 years later, it's coming to fruition. And I'm happy to share that it's coming out April 11th, 2025, Tattoos and Pearls. I'm currently working on the audio versions of it. I have a few chapters that I'm ready to start recording, And so that way I can share it with you on my YouTube channel. And my publisher and I are really working hard to make sure that everything is ready for you all. And I'm just really happy and excited that I'm going to be able to bring Tattoos and Pearls to you. So just to give you a quick summary of Tattoos and Pearls blend street wisdom with corporate strategy, empowering readers to embrace both their real, raw, lived experiences, which are the representative of the tattoos, and the refined insights gained through professional growth, the pearls. Through the Ink and Pearls framework, you'll learn to transform trauma into power, balance authenticity with executive presence, and lead with confidence. This book offers 3 key benefits for you all, actionable strategies to navigate corporate spaces without losing yourself. That's key. So many of us think we need to be one way at work and one way at home. And we need to be able to integrate both of them so that we can shine in both places and understand, hey, this is me and I'm here and I'm going to be me wherever I'm at. The second part is tools to turn adversity into leadership strength. Everybody has a leader within them. Everybody. There's not one person that cannot be their own leader. And it's so critical for us to lead our own lives. Even if our own lives are the ones that we're currently working on, that's the one that we're going to lead with first. Is you're doing the right thing. You're on the right path. And a roadmap for building influence while staying true to your values. I mean, I just talked about core values in a recent episode, right? You want to make sure that whatever it is that you're working on or whatever it is that you're doing, wherever you're spending your time, that your core values are at the forefront, not anybody else's, yours. And that is how you're going to figure out what your roadmap is for building your own influence for yourself, for your family, for the people around you, your friends. And sometimes you will lose some people, but that's okay, because it's really important to value yourself and honor yourself. And it's going to be truly a guide for rebels, trailblazers, and anyone who's redefining success. I love to be the exception. Sometimes I recognize I am the exception in so many different spaces. Like yesterday, I had the opportunity being a panelist and I was talking, I'm the only Latina on the panel, right? I mean, that's okay. Sometimes you have to show that it looks a little bit different and bring a fresh perspective to it and give them something totally different. And it just makes for a better story. We all have a story within us. If you ever thought about becoming an author, listen, there's plenty of authors, publishing companies out there. You could talk to different authors to get their experience and figure out. A lot of them are willing to talk to you. I'm even willing to talk to you and get you some information or figure out what it is that you want to do. And then people could walk you through the process. So there are book coaches out there who can help you, like mine, Adriana Rosales, and there's some others out there that I've been able to meet in just meeting other people. There's also several anthology series. You can start that way. That's how I started. I started with the Latinas 100, leaving our legacy and inspiring the next generation. And so I'm in volume 3 and 4, which is super cool. And I've been able to share my story there and be able to really share my successes and accomplishments that I couldn't put anywhere else. And I really wanted to leave that for other people to say, you know what, we could be creative and innovative in how we do things for other people. And this is one of them. And then the new Face of Power with Hispanic Star, I'll be part of a different anthology series coming up after this book. But you could definitely find different publishers. If you connect with me on LinkedIn, I'm at Miriam Simon. Also, you could connect with me on my website, miriamsimon.online. You can subscribe to get all the information, all the details. If you want to work with me, happy to work with you. We could set up a consultation call and figure out and see, hey, what are your goals? Are we aligned to be coach and client? Also, speaking engagements, if you want me to come out and talk and give, talk about my Ink and Pearls framework that I have and being authentic, and also how to bring it into the corporate space. I think people are really looking for it, especially now that we have AI incorporated into a lot of the work that we're going to be doing. There's no if, ands, or buts about that. It's coming if it's not already there. And technology has always been a big piece of our jobs and how we do work. And I love it because it gives us process improvements. And AI is just an added way of making my life easier. So I love it as well because I'm not losing my smart, I'm not losing my wit, I'm not losing my intelligence, I'm not losing my skills. What I'm doing now is just spending less time on the things that I don't want to spend a million hours on. Now I can, have ideas and then run it through it and then repurpose information that I already have. The launch for the book, Tattoos and Pearls, is coming out April 11th. Follow me on my YouTube channel or IG at author Miriam Simon. You can also follow Latina Mic Drop Podcast on IG. And that's also available on the YouTube, and you can find it on all your other platforms that you listen to podcast. This is another episode of Latina Mic Drop, and I'm really happy and excited that the author is coming to you April 11th, and I'll see you on the flip side. We'll talk to you then. Take care. Bye.